with my Cuppa A Natter that I like to do twice a month on a Monday. I bring authors into my home. We talk about books, writing, life as an author, and anything that comes to mind. And this evening I have Maria Henriksen joining me. How are you this evening, my dear?
I'm doing well, thank you.
This is, I think, your third time. Is it your third time on my show?
It is.
You were my very first guest.
Yes.
Babe, I don't know how many years I've been doing this, but
It was during COVID.
was it during COVID?
It was 2020. Yep.
You got a better memory than me. But you were my very first guest, and that is what launched Cuppa A Natter, because I had such a good time talking to you. I thought, I want to keep doing this.
Yeah, it was great. And you weren't sure about the name. And I said, nope, I think you need to keep it as A Cuppa A Natter.
Because of my British heritage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people love it.
Yeah, so I have you to thank for however many years Cuppa A Natter has been going on. We have a great turnout with the audience. I love talking to authors, including yourself. And, you're not new to me. We've chatted a lot, on this show, behind the scenes, on social media. So I feel like I know you. On the phone. I feel like I know you. You're right next door.
We're only like 3,000 miles away, but
that's it. But I feel like I know you. But I do want to. We have some people joining us. I'll say hi to them in a minute. But I do want to point out to the readers that Maria does freeze up a little bit, but not the volume. So her audio is audio. Yeah, the audio is good, but you might see her freeze a little. But we can still have a conversation. I just wanted to point that. So Maria, before we get started, for those that don't know you as well as I do, can you give a little background to yourself on anything you feel comfortable sharing with the rest of us?
Okay. So I am a mother of twins, and they are 23 years old. I know it's hard to believe that I have kids that are that old. Boy and girl.
Great.
And it's the greatest blessing ever. And I am a substitute teacher during the school year. And this year I am teaching 5th and 6th graders. For the past 4.5 years, predominantly, I was dealing with grades 10, 11, and 12. So this is quite an adjustment. But they're cute. And so far so good. The district that I'm with have been wonderful. So I'm really happy about that. It's been a blessing in disguise and something very unexpected. And I am an author of a series called Not Again. And I have 4 books out, and I have 2 more books that I need to polish and publish to complete the book series to make it a 6-book saga. And I also am a contributor to Love Knots, which is a 40-day devotional. There's 2 volumes to that. So I'm a Christian author, so that's what I write, and I write things that are inspirational. But in my fiction, I write about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And, I'm gritty with it because I do tackle topics that are taboo, and I'm not afraid to get down and dirty with them. So that's what I do.
It's reality. It's the truth.
It is. But being a Christian writer, it's a very specific niche.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely not writing to the masses. And, there can be a lot of flack for that because there's, the ultra conservatives that would disapprove because they want to sweep things under the rug. But so far, the feedback has been exceptional, and it's what how I feel led to write, and that's the easy part, is the writing. It's the other stuff behind the scenes, as you know, with the self-publishing, that is the time consuming, and you just want to pull your hair out and all that good stuff.
You're right. The easiest part is writing the book. It's all the other hats we have to wear being self-published that take up more of our time. I mean, I have no problem writing books. Absolutely none whatsoever. I enjoy it. I love doing it. Then when the book's done, it's like, damn it, now I got to market this. I got to think about covers. I got to think about, editing and all this other stuff. The stuff that just, like you said, makes you want to pull your hair out.
Yeah.
It does. It really does. I'm so envious of my father that was an author in the 70s, because all he had to worry about was getting those books to the publisher.
Right.
And they did everything else.
Exactly.
That's when publishers did things for the authors. Not now. It's a completely different story. I do want to say hi to some people that are joining us, and I know you know a lot of these people because you are well known. So let's start at the top. We got Janet joining us. She says hello again. I am talking to Maria Henderson. If you have any questions for Maria, go ahead and put them in the comments, and I'll get to as many as I can. We have Belinda. She says hello. And hold on, my computer doesn't want to call it. Okay, we got Peggy. I know you know Peggy. Peggy Patterson. She's here. Hi, Peggy. Good to see you. Lori Whitney is here. And I know you know this young lady, Lori Chasco. She is here. And then we have Debbie Tyler. Virgie Lane says hello. Lori Chasco, of course, says, I love all your books.
Talking to both of us.
There we go. Oh, Luann Fox, my editor, is here. Hey, Luann, how you doing, girl? She says, love to talk, especially talking about the taboo and you being Christian. Luann is my editor. Janet says, you are a new author to me. Karen Noose is here. Belinda says, I love your books, Maria. I just want to go down the line. I hate missing people. Then we have Flash. That is Kathy Driscoll. She's watching us on YouTube. Hi, Kathy. Good to see you. I want to talk about your series. The one I have on the graphic is Amy's Story. That is number 4 of your Not Again series. But I want to start back in the beginning first, which is called Not Again. When you wrote this book, did you have the intentions of it being what sounds like it's going to be a 6-book series?
No.
Good answer.
What happened was really strange. I actually thought I was going to have to give up writing. And I prayed about it and really thought that that's where the Lord was leading me. And then I started school and things shifted. And I was able to write 4 books in like 8 months.
4?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Novels. They're novels.
That's more than I can do.
And yeah, well, it was the easy part. I mean, but this was like a couple years ago that I was able to do this. It was like 2023, 2024. And it just kept going. And it's like the first 2 books are from the same point of view. It's Not Again, and then Not Again, the Fallout. And then the 3rd book is from her best friend's point of view, which was inspired by my best friend, who was a Division I lacrosse player at Baltimore, Maryland. And then it shifted to a mutual friend of theirs, Amy, and that's set in Delaware. And all of these are set in the 80s. And then the next book is from Val's point of view, who's friends with all of them as well. But what happened is I thought I was going to do 3 books, but I ended up splitting Amy's into 2 books. Okay. So the first 2 books are from the same point of view, and the last 2 books are from the same point of view. So there's 4 different points of view for the series, and they're all friends, and it ties up in the end. And the last 2 books are in Chicago. So I have different settings, and then the last 2 books start in 1990s. So we actually launch into the 90s, and it's basically like the time frame from when I grew up, and just so I could kind of, remember how things were at that point, to have like that type of a perspective. And what I do is I incorporate songs into the books. But originally, I only wanted to write one book. I just wanted to leave a legacy for my family. I wanted them to have something to be proud of. And I felt like I didn't accomplish anything important in my life. And so I thought, and I always wanted to write a book, even though I was never an avid reader by any stretch. So when I became a substitute, I just kind of devoured reading because I was able to do that in spare time. And so that's how it all started. And then the first book, I couldn't use all the material that I had written. My editor said, no, we have to chop this off at a certain spot. And then I decided, well, I have a portion of a second book here. And I wasn't sure if it was going to turn into a second book. So I didn't really make a big deal out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of thought I would. So I just kind of went through, and that was weird. I really did that in like piecemeal. Like I wrote I didn't write it in order. I wrote it like, okay, I'm going to 2/3 into it. I would write something, go back, and then I would write something, and then I would jump ahead. It was really crazy, but it all came together somehow. And I was kind of like that when I wrote papers and stuff. Like it would be a disaster to begin with, but then it would all come together. So if you saw what I had to do, what I wrote initially, it would have been like, what is this? Like you would have thought I was like totally stupid. And then it would just pull together. And because I don't plot anything, I just write it all out. And I can't even type. That's the other thing that's crazy. I cannot type to save I can't even type my name without making a mistake. I mean, I am the worst typist.
How did you manage to write so many books in 8 months?
I use my phone.
Dictate?
Nope. I use the S Pen on my phone.
Oh, I could never do that either. I can't see. The phone's too damn small for me.
Well, I have a bigger phone.
Just need a bigger phone. I just can't do that. Wow. You have 4 books on your phone.
Yes. Oh, actually, 5 books on my phone. Yeah. The first book, I had a desktop, the old fashioned desktop, and I had to do it. I did it in my basement. I couldn't go anywhere. And then eventually I got a laptop and I wrote some stuff on my laptop, like part of the second book. But then I was like, I'm going to use my phone, and just did it that way. It's really not impressive. It's actually very embarrassing. I can't tell you.
But it worked. It worked.
It did.
It worked. It did. So those are the 4 books that are out now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the first book came out when?
2019, August of 2019.
So 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 2 have come out like close together. It was the last 3.
Yes. No, the last 2. You're right.
The last 2. Now, Lori is asking, I'm going to put up a question up here on the neck. Oh, it was there. Come on, Lori, here we go. When will the other 2 in the series come out?
I'm hoping that Not Again, Val's story will come out in 2026. It should. But there's a little bit of revisions that I have to do. I don't really revise. I more like add things to it. And I know what I want to do, but I also want to make sure that I have my facts are actual. They kind of jive. I'm changing subgenres again, so that's another thing. So the first 2, everything's Christian and everything is inspirational, and all of the books have romance.
Okay.
So there are 3 main components, but then like the third book is romantic suspense and sports fiction, the sport being lacrosse. And then the 4th book that is Amy's story is like a mystery and suspense. So I got into mystery, and you wonder, is it a suicide? Was it an accident? Was it a murder? So, because I kind of thought, like,
Why
how I
not? Why
murder mysteries.
not? Might as well try all the genres. Why not? See which one you like.
Yeah. And then okay, so I read a couple books that are called speculative fiction, which I never even heard of. And they're authors, Christian authors, and it's like, it's kind of like paranormal Christian stuff, but it's kind of like some people might put it under fantasy, but I'm not really a fantasy writer, but it's basically the spiritual realms. And so I'm tackling that, and that was actually, I had fun writing all my books, but it's really neat. And I do use scripture, and it's necessary with with especially the fifth book. But each journey is different. So it depends on the individual who is narrating it as to how much scripture is in the book. So like my third one is more heavy on the scripture because like I said, it was based on my best friend who became saved when she was 5. And I kind of kept that in the story. And then the fourth book, she was one of these people that she would go to church, but didn't really live the life, didn't really need to depend on, Jesus to help her get through things.
Okay.
Never really had, any tragedy in her life. And then you start with Not a Get Amy story, and you see, and so how she overcomes things. And that's basically what all of my books do. It's basically relying on the Lord with big issues, and and things that are realistic and things that are happening today, even though they're set in the 80s, which does give you that nostalgic feel, they're still relevant today.
Okay.
So
That makes sense. And with it being a series right now, 4 books, would you tell readers to start at the beginning? Do they
absolutely.
have to read them in order?
In fact, I've asked readers about that, and they suggest yes. Now, the reason is the first book is the longest book, but that's because it's really setting the stage. And that's where you start to find out about the characters that show up in all the rest of the books.
Okay.
So that's that's another reason why it's longer, and it's more important to get that base, with the first book. And then the second book follows the first book, and it's all chronological, and it all ties together somehow. So it is important, I would say, to read all the books. But I picked Amy's story to read because it is my grittiest book. And I think that your crew, your members can handle that. And
I mean, they've seen me write trilogies and series and
yes. And so of all my books, I think that is one I think that is probably the most standalone book of the whole series.
Okay.
And it's my most recent book. It came out September 25th in honor of my dad's birthday. He's since passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, so neither of my parents have known me as like a novelist. Unfortunately, they passed away before my books
That's
were
like my dad.
published.
My mom and my dad, before the beginnings was published, they passed away.
Yeah.
And I never told them I was writing a book either. I didn't. It took me 10 plus years to write Reckless Beginnings. And in that time, I just didn't tell I wanted it to be a surprise.
Yeah.
But sadly, they both passed.
I did the same thing because my books sat on the shelf for like a decade.
Mm-hmm.
you know, like the proverbial shelf, you know, but, you know, my mom passed away in 2015, and it
That's
wasn't until several years later that it got published. And I wrote it, but I had to, you
all
know,
the other stuff that comes with publishing a book.
that we just love to do.
Oh yeah, can't you tell? We've got some comments up real quick. I want to pop this up from Carol. She says that Amy's story was my absolute favorite. I want to ask you, do you have a favorite from all 6 books, not just the ones that are published?
Probably my 5th book.
The one that's not published. Do you have a title for it?
Title?
Do you have a title for the 5th book?
I do. I do have a title. I have a cover, but that's not going to be revealed. The title is,
well,
the title's Not Again, Val's Story, Part 1, and it's book 5. And that's probably, that has my heart. That's probably my favorite book.
Can you tell us?
I mean, it's very action oriented. Like, people liked the 4th book because there was a lot of action in it. I think, you know, like it was a page turner. Not that my other books weren't, but in a different way. And this one, like, you know, like I was actually nervous about book 4, and then people said it was their favorite, and I was like, oh no, you know, did it go off the rails, you know, like, but I did get, you know, very positive feedback about that. So
wonderful. Do you have the books next to you?
I do.
Let's see some of the covers, because Janet popped up a comment saying, can she show the first book title? But if you have some of the books there, this is book number. Is
1.
that story? No, Not Again.
This is the first one.
That's the first one.
Okay, and this is a newer cover. I redesigned it so that the covers would.
That's weird.
Be cohesive.
It's weird. It's coming in backwards.
Oh,
that's all right. We can make it. We can still see.
I don't know how I would adjust it.
And this one is book 2.
Yep.
And what was that called? I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's Not Again, The Fallout.
Okay, that's book 2.
Okay, and again, the first 2, like the first one is high school years. The second one is college years.
Now you do your own covers too, correct?
Yes. I design my covers, and then I have someone that professionally finishes it up, you know, and
does all that. Pictures in the covers, are they pictures you took of actual people you know? Or?
The first cover that I did take the pictures, but that's my original cover that I don't use anymore. I took the pictures and everything. But it just didn't seem to be cohesive with the vision that I had for the rest of the books. So I recovered it. And I mean, that was like a gut-wrenching experience for me to do that, because I did take the pictures, and, you know, it was my first book, and it was like sentimental. And the on the front cover was my daughter's best friend and my son's best friend, and they pretended to be a couple. And so I did a whole photo shoot and did video and all kinds of stuff, because I was thinking ahead, you know, in that, like, I did this like almost a year ahead of time before I even published my book. And see, my background is communications and journalism, and so I you know, marketing and all of that. And so the branding I can't get away from. Like, it just
it just continues on. But you have your cover ready before you finish the book?
Oh yeah.
See, I'm the opposite.
I mean,
I don't even.
I had an idea, like this one. Oh, I knew this was going to be. This is Morgan's story.
Okay.
And I absolutely love this cover.
I love the colors.
Yeah, and I thought, like, before I even wrote it, I was like, this is my next cover.
Wow.
Like, for this one.
I'll write the book and then I'll think of a cover.
Yeah, well, that's normal.
Because I'm always afraid that, you know, if I put, for me, this is what works for me. If I put a cover at the beginning of the book, and I go with it, something might pop up in the book, like you're a pantser, I'm a pantser, we don't plot, and I'll go, oh shoot, that I could have used that for the cover.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for me, I just cannot, even though I'm thinking about it while I'm writing, I push it to the side. I push it to the side. I don't even think about it until the first draft is done, and then I'm on the phone with my cover design. All right, let's do this. You know.
Well, your cover designer does a good job. Like, you know, I can see why you chose her. I'm assuming it's a her.
It's a her, Tiffany from TE Black Design. I'll give her a shout out. But she's done all my covers, and for me, I wouldn't even know where to begin. I admire you, you know, first time author writing your first book and also doing your cover.
Well, I was a graphic artist.
Oh, well, there you go. See, I can't even draw a bowl of fruit. So
yeah, I mean, I literally taught a class in college. My teacher was like, "Oh, can you teach the class how to do some graphic arts?"
I can write stories, but no, I can't design anything except for my beads. You know, I'm doing bead things now, so I love my beads.
You're what?
Beads. I'm doing beading. I'm doing beading.
Oh, beads. I'm like, what?
Beading. In fact, when I go to events, it's now Tina's Books and Beads. I have a
Oh,
yeah.
the B&B.
Yeah, I love my beads.
Okay. Well, fun fact, I not only like to like designing things visually to accompany my books, but I also write songs to go with them.
Oh, nice. You actually write the lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
What about the music?
I have a tune in mind and I record it, but you would not, you know, I can't sing and I'm not musically inclined. So like the first song, my daughter recommended the singer and I gave her the lyrics and she put it to a keyboard and I told her to make it a little rockier. And she did. And so that's on my website. I have a section for book trailers, and I also designed my website. So I kind of like all of that creativity type stuff. Like if I'm if I'm upset or I'm struggling, I just start designing things. I do book trailers. I do series trailers.
It's therapy.
Yeah, it's therapy for me.
I like about this beading that I took up. It started with the bookmarks, the velvet bookmarks, but now it's gone on to all other things. But for me, it is my breakaway from technology. I spend most of my time writing on my laptop, on my phone, whatever. And it's for me, it's just close the laptop and do some beading. And it just takes me away from all that. And I absolutely love it. I do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great because it's also, it could be a little extra source of income for you.
Really well at the booze. I'm quite surprised. It started off with velvet bookmarks with a bead thing at the bottom. Now it's keychains, sun catchers, purse danglers, earrings, bracelets. I'm going down. Anyways,
I think that's neat. I would love to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's fun. We did mention that you're going to do a reading, right?
I did.
Okay. I hate
Yes.
putting authors on the spot, but my memory is not like it used to be. So we're going to take a little break, and I'm going to be quiet. Oh, go ahead. Finish all the books first. I'm sorry.
Nope. I'm just figuring you can keep talking and you can see what the book is.
It's your turn.
So, well, this is not again Amy's story. And I actually go through the internet and try to find pictures that I like. I get a vision because I'm visual. And I kind of use all my senses. And so I came up with this. And now my cover designer actually did add the sky because I wanted it to have the purple in it. So because that's my favorite color. So I have to have some kind of purple.
Why not? Oh, the subgenres and favorite color. We get it.
So, yeah. I mean, that's normal.
Yeah. But we always put something of ourselves in our books. That's for sure.
Yeah, of course.
We do.
I mean, why not, right?
Yeah. So that was book 4. But now, are we ready to do a reading?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to hand it over to you. You let us know what you're reading.
Okay. So this is not again Amy's story, and it is set in 1989 in the fall, and it is her senior year. of college. Now, what I did was I took bits, the first part of chapter 1, another section in chapter 1, and then like towards the end, but I'm not doing the whole chapter. I'm just picking out pieces so it'll make sense. And then that's what I'm going to do. And it kind of sets up the stage for what's going to happen. All right, chapter 1. With the cool wind in my hair, I was enjoying the leisurely drive to my new apartment to commence my senior year at Brandywine University of Delaware, casually known as Bud, as a business major. Jamming to the radio, I sang the lyrics to the song Wow Thing, wishing my rendition rivaled that of Tone Loc. There was nothing in my path to distract me. My path was clear and direct, just as I had planned it. All arrows pointed to my graduation in May. Nothing was going to stop me from obtaining my 4-year degree at Bud. I highlighted these on my phone. After wolfing down my not-so-healthy dinner, I decided to call my mom to find out what happened to my meal plan this year. There was a phone mounted on the wall by the entranceway. I sat on the chair next to it and dialed my home phone number. Ring, ring. Hello? Hi, Mom. Oh, hi, Amy. How are you? Okay, I guess. Silence. The need to know what happened to my meal plan was nagging me. I couldn't let it go. After all, eating had been known to be a rather important essential for living. Attempting to sound nonchalant, I said, Hey, Mom, when I went to get my meal card renewed today, they said I didn't sign up for a meal plan. Didn't you sign up for one? No, I didn't. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I was hoping things would change, but they didn't. I could hear the strain in her voice. What do you mean? I asked nervously. She expelled a deep breath. Well, I hate to tell you this, but we can't afford to pay for any of your college expenses moving forward. Why not? I asked, taken back by her statement. We made some bad investments and haven't recovered from them. We paid your tuition and housing through this semester, but you're on your own for everything else. Why didn't you tell me this sooner? I could hear the irritation in my tone. I did. I told you to get a job this summer. I thought you said that so I would be busy. This is unbelievable. I heard a sigh on the other end. That was part of it. Your father was hoping he could figure something out, but things ended up getting worse. In fact, we just got word a few minutes ago that our financial situation is even more dire than we originally thought. I was hoping to add the food plan today, as a matter of fact. Dead silence filled the gap between us while I tried to make sense of what I heard. The profound gasp on the other end prompted me to listen keenly as my mother continued. I'm afraid you're going to have to get a job to be able to afford to go to college your spring semester. Get a job rang between my ears. I had everything mapped out. Working during my senior year fall semester was not part of my master plan. It messed everything up. It messed up everything I deliberately set in motion. There has to be another way. The voice on the other end of the phone interrupted my thoughts. You may have to commute to save money, my mother suggested, as if it was no big deal. My throat plummeted to my stomach. The air felt thinner, causing my head to start throbbing. My voice cracked as I sought clarity. You're saying you don't have money for my last semester of college? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. I heard regret in my mom's voice. Her apology wasn't enough to soothe me. I already had a challenging course load. Good grades did not come easy for me. It was hard enough for me to keep up with my studies. How would I be able to work and maintain a decent grade point average when I needed plenty of time to study? All my plans went up in smoke. The walls caved in around me, suffocating me. At the blink of an eye, my life was unrecognizable, reduced to rubble. I didn't know how to navigate my harsh new reality. I already had a challenging course load. Emotions got the better of me. Tears quickly filled up, nearing their release. Desperate for answers, I screeched, "Why didn't you tell me this sooner? How am I supposed to make enough money to pay for a whole semester of college? I'm supposed to graduate in May, Mom." I swallowed the groans to stifle audible crying to maintain a modicum of dignity. The water pressure was building behind my eyes. Stinging, piercing pain mocked me. It was only a matter of time before the dam was released. There was no way to stop the waterfall despite my efforts. Tears splashed from my eyes, yet the sounds of sobbing did not betray me. "I know this is difficult to handle, Amy, but do what you can. You don't have to graduate this May. You can take time off to work and save money." "I can't believe this. This is so unfair." Not wanting to reveal the depth of my weakness, I gulped back the potentially loud cries, gagging on them to keep from being heard. Anger was one thing. Hysterics revealed a different level of vulnerability. Sounding exasperated, my mother said, "Amy, we paid for everything up until now." A short break was followed by more unwelcome news. "Speaking of paying for everything, you're on your own with expenses too. You'll have to pay for your phone bill and gas." "What?" I screamed. "This is unbelievable." I slammed down the receiver. So much for a life of grace and dignity. That only lasted a few seconds. I was so furious, I couldn't even afford to make a long-distance phone call. I wish I had ended the phone call sooner to avoid having to pay more when the bill arrives.
That brought back memories.
Yeah, right? The long-distance calls.
Uh-huh. Yeah, very good. Thank you so much. And that was from book 4, Amy's story, correct?
Right. Mhm.
Very good. I enjoyed that, and I know our readers did too. I love listening to authors read their books. I really do. The next book, again, what was it called again? I'm sorry.
The next book?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Not Again,
Okay.
Dale's story.
And you said it's going to come out next spring?
I don't know when.
You don't
I
know.
haven't even, not this past summer, but the summer before, I did start with revisions and a little bit of editing on my end. But I have a vision for after all of the books are done. I have a special project that I want to do. And so I have to get the books prepped for that, and I have to make some changes to fulfill that vision.
Ooh,
So
exciting.
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna, I have to get all this stuff done first before I even attempt to do it, because it's a project and it's gonna be an interesting one.
Nothing's ever easy. I wanted to talk some comments from your reading. We have Virgie says, thanks for the reading. It was great. Lori says, I loved your reading, poor Amy. And then we have Carol. She says, excellent reading. After you've done, I know you have to polish up book 5 and book 6 before they get published, and all that fun begins with the editing and the marketing and all that stuff. Do you have anything up here for another series or another book? Anything in the works rolling around in your head?
I was thinking about hanging it up, but again, I thought I didn't think I had it in me to write 4 more books, so who knows?
Who knows? We just never know. We just never know.
Yeah.
When I wrote the Sabella series, it was supposed to be 1 book. Ended up being 8. And I like being a pantster. Have you ever tried plotting a book? No. Yeah, I tried once and it was a disaster. I'll never do it again.
And I don't understand why plotters are so hell-bent on getting pantsers to plot. Like, that's not my jam.
Well, in my eyes, and I mean, this is just my own personal opinion, but I don't think there's any right way to write.
Right.
You write what works for you.
Exactly.
Some authors get up at the crack of dawn at 5 a.m. I'm not one of them. That's never going to happen in my eyes. And they write, up until 10 or whatever, and then they have the rest of the day to do whatever. Others write at midnight. Others write at 3 o'clock. Some are pantsers, some are not. But there's no correct way to write. We just do what works for us. And it took me forever to figure out that I don't have a set time to write. I used to listen to, I do a lot of these interviews. I hear a lot of feedback from many authors. And, well, I get up at 5 a.m. and I'm not mocking them. This is their plan. This is what they like to do. I get up at 5. I write till 10. Others will diligently work from noon till 6. Others will work from 6 till 10 at night. And I try to discipline myself. Okay, 10 a.m. I'm going to sit at my desk and I'm going to write. No, if I'm not in the mood to write, if my characters aren't talking to me, then
I'm the same way.
Period. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I can't go knocking on the door and say, "Okay, it's 10 a.m. You got to talk to me."
Well,
it doesn't work that way.
my first book, I started writing when my husband was putting my kids to bed because they were in elementary school, and I went down to the basement and I would start writing, and it was like 8 o'clock at night. And I wrote until like 2 in the morning. And then I would get up at 6 and go to work and then come home at 3:30 or whatever it was at the time. And, like I can't do that now. I had energy back then. I'm a completely different person. So,
you have to do what works for you. You really do. And I've just let go of the stress of I need to sit down and write.
Right.
No, I don't. I write when I'm ready. I write when my characters are talking to me. And yes, sometimes I have gotten up in the middle of the night because I can't sleep because people are talking in my head. Fine, because I'm not going to sleep anyway. So I have been known to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and sit and write at my desk for an hour or two. And then finally they'll let me go to sleep. And that has happened. But it doesn't happen a lot, thank God. I'm glad they talk to me during the day hours most of the time, because otherwise I'd be a mess too. But no, there's no right way to write. Tongue twister there. A question for you. Look into the future. Oh, wait a minute. Wrong one. Here we go. Is another series in the future for you, Maria?
I don't think so. I mean, I think I have someone that wants me to write their story. That's a possibility. Which would, again, that would be, another type of genre altogether, which I'm fine with because I'm fiction and nonfiction, and my fiction is all different kinds of genres. And when I was actually sought out by the publisher to do the nonfiction, and she's like, "Oh, I want you to, write some devotionals or whatever." And I thought, how hard could that be? So,
well, you say you write a lot of genres and subgenres. Is there a genre that you won't write? You have no desire to try?
Yes.
Because you tried a few.
I would not write erotica.
Okay. There you go. That's a good answer. Me, I can't write horror. I just can't. I can't read horror, so there's no way I can write it. I just can't do it. I'm so queasy when it comes to that. I mean, I like a good murder thriller, but the gory horror stuff, I can't do it.
I ever read a horror story.
I read a lot of Stephen King back in the day, and that was before It came out, which I've never read. But that was enough for me back then. What they have nowadays, I haven't even picked up, but I hear it's pretty gory.
Yeah.
So I can't do it. I can't. Talking about the series, she also says, I love a series. I'm in book number 146 in One I Follow. Could you imagine writing a 146 book series?
What?
That's what I'm reading. I love a series. I'm in 146 in One I Follow. I'm thinking that's what she's saying. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kathy. But I think you're saying you're reading book number 146. I can't imagine writing that. And it's also very bittersweet. No, the series is finished, correct? There's not going to be a book 9? I mean 7?
I don't know. Never say never.
Gonna keep.
I mean, right now it's set for 6 books. I fly by the seat of my pants. I really do. And, my boss is God. And when God speaks, I just do what he wants me to do, and that's that. And he made it possible for me to write these books. And we talked about the challenges that I had, just in this past year. Every time I go to publish a book, it gets worse and worse and worse with things that I have to deal with. And I told you, life-threatening things, I have to deal with.
Yeah.
And we're talking gut-wrenching things. And this is not anything, that should be taken lightly. And I'm not exaggerating. And, I ended up like living what my characters went through. And never in a million years did I think I would be experiencing that. But the research that I did has helped me in my personal life and my family. So I have God to thank for that it's like he prepared me for these events that have happened and are happening in my life right now. But I have to tell you that it does scare me to start to polish the next book. Because if what I experienced already is going to be worse, I can't even imagine. Like, I can't. And that's why I'm kind of like, I kind of put the brakes on it, because things that have been going on have been absolutely devastating. And I just wonder, how much can I take? How much more can I take, before I actually crumble? And I literally, every minute of the day, I just have to, give thanks to God and just, be grateful, and to just get through it through prayer. And I couldn't survive. I mean, I would probably go absolutely crazy if I didn't have the Lord to depend on. And I'm literally living out what I write about. So it's so I and that's why I don't know when I'm going to get to Val's story, because I have to be in the right frame of mind to tackle this, because like I am attacked, like, physically. I have multiple diseases. Last year, every day I was getting a new disease. Like, they would call up, you have this disease now you have this one, now you have that. And like, I was like, what? So then that's just the physical. And then, but fortunately, spiritually, I've been able to keep my head above water. And I thank God for that. And I don't know how people who don't have that faith, how they do day-to-day life. I mean, I don't get it. And, and I am grateful that, I do have that in my life. And, I mean, and I am not being specific, because part of what I'm dealing with is not my story. And, and it's just very, very painful. And it's just a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And it's all at once too. It's like the physical, and then, somebody else has something going on. And then, I mean, and, we talk behind the scenes about the latest that's happening, and, and I'm like, what? And I don't even want to say what could happen next. Like, I just don't only want to go there.
Just don't jinx it. But you have to take care of you first.
Yeah.
That's priority. And you know your mind, your body. And if you're not up to it, you're not up to it. And your readers will understand. You have a great fan base. They love your work.
Yeah.
They'll wait. As long as you're taking care of you. And that's what matters. But I'm not being nosy, but I guess I am. That's my job. I'm interviewing you. I can be nosy. No. You also work full time, like you mentioned at the beginning of the interview. You're a sub teacher. You do this full time.
When school's in session, yes, I work. Right. So I have the summers off, holidays.
And that is 8-hour day work, an 8-hour
7.
day job. So that takes a lot of your stamina too, right there. So the last thing you want to do when you come home is sit down and figure out, your books. I'm
Right.
imagining.
And dealing with 5th and 6th graders is exhausting. As much as I love them, I mean, there are like kids that are like 3 inches tall, and I'm like, how cute are you? But yeah, I mean, it's really takes its toll physically, and I'm not quite used to that because, like I said before, I was dealing with high school kids, and that's a whole that there weren't any discipline issues. It was pretty easy, but there were things going on. I had to leave, and that's what happened at the end of the year last year. And then I went to and did 7th and 8th grade, and now I'm doing 5th and 6th. So I just keep going down and down it. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I love kids, don't get me wrong, but I could never be a teacher. I don't have the patience. I'm going to be flat out honest. That's why I only had one kid. That was enough. I was done,
Yeah.
but yeah, I couldn't do it. So my hat's off to you on that one. I really do. Let's get away from the books for just a second. I want to get to know you. We've got a little bit longer left. Outside of your writing, outside of your teaching, what do you enjoy just to like free your mind, escape everything? What are some of your hobbies that you like to do?
Well, I used to run, but I can't do that. I haven't been able to do that for over a year. It happened pretty quickly too. Like, I was a competitive runner, and I was actually training for a marathon.
You're doing it. I remember
But
you doing it.
I
Yeah.
only got as far as a 10K and had all kinds of injuries, including concussions and all kinds of stuff. So, and I had neck surgery. So I couldn't continue with it. And then when I had COVID, I had long COVID. So it exacerbated my psoriatic arthritis. And then on top of that, I got the fibromyalgia and other things. And so I get so fatigued that I can't even talk. And it's becoming more and more noticeable. And I literally had to back out of like a Bible study that I wanted to do on Revelation because I couldn't even keep my head up when I, was sitting there at church just listening. And I couldn't participate. I
Wow.
couldn't speak because I was so fatigued, and it hits me suddenly and hard, and I'm just out. Like to do this tonight, I had to like caffeine, like I just drank a lot of iced tea, and I'm fine during the day because I have a whole regimen of supplements that I use that keep me going. And that's the other thing is that with my books, like I am working, and then I basically need the weekend to recover from working because it's physically taxing on my body, and my body needs time to recuperate. And then I get to the point where I have brain fog, and it's called fibro fog, from the fibromyalgia. And all of this got like 10 times worse because of the long COVID that I experienced like in 2022. And it just lingered, and then it just, now my body just attacks everything. So
Wow.
like I live in pain 24/7. Like I am in constant pain from literally head to toe.
Is
No.
there a cure, any kind of relief? What about relief? Any kind of relief
There's
that you
like
can have? Medication
people take like
or
steroids and things like that, but like I don't do that. I'm actually in the process of waiting for a medication to get a pre-approved. And it's so that if I can't be on that, then the other meds, the choices are, they are known to give you heart disease and or cancer. So,
No thanks.
yeah, but if you don't do something, then you have irreversible damage to your joints and all kinds of things. So it's a very tough situation. They don't really understand autoimmune disorders, and there is absolutely no cure. And people are like, "Oh, well, you look fine," and it's like if you were in my body at any given minute, you would be screaming at the top of your lungs, thinking, "How in the world do you live like this?" Like you would think you were dying.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so
So that's
sorry.
another reason why I can't say, because I have to do things when I have the cognitive ability to do it and that I have the energy to do it. And it's not just about inspiration. And, and if I
Right.
force myself because I'm strong willed, then I pay for it the next day to the point that I'm like debilitated.
You have to pace yourself. If you push
Yes.
yourself, you're gonna pay for it, pretty much. Wow. I am so sorry to hear that. Well, you take your time. We'll be here waiting. That's for sure. Don't you go pushing yourself. We're gonna wrap this up pretty soon, but my final question for you is, what kind of advice would you give to a writer who wants to become a published author?
Just right. Just, I
That's a good
mean,
advice.
really, like people have all kinds of excuses, and I- like I wanted to be an author since I was in high school, which is ironic because I didn't even like to read then. And I do like reading now. I just haven't had enough energy to sit and read because of all the things that are going on in my life. But they say, "Oh, I don't have the time. I don't have this. I don't have that." Well, I mean, I had two kids in elementary school, and I wrote from 8 to 2, 8 at night to 2 in the morning. Got up at 6. Well, I also have insomnia, so I'm lucky if I get 4 hours of sleep anyway. So and I've had it for decades. I've had insomnia since I was in high school. And I can't really take things because I was in the ER with medication that a doctor gave me. I couldn't. Well, a long crazy story this summer, where one of the medications that I was on, I couldn't walk or talk, and he didn't believe that it was the medication because it was such a low dose. And I'm not somebody that takes drugs. Like I don't even take Tylenol or Advil. And I couldn't really speak. I had such a delayed reaction that I said to my husband, when he came home, I said, "You're going to have to call the doctor and tell him I can't take this medication." And so after 10 o'clock at night, he said, well, he finally called me back and he doesn't think that that's what it is, that it's the meds. But if you can walk and talk tomorrow, then that's what it is. It is the medication. So my husband goes to work. I'm laying in bed, and it's the summer, so I have off, and I'm like, "Can I talk now?" And I'm talking out loud. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can talk." So then I thought, okay, let's see if I can walk. Like I literally couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. It was the craziest thing. My husband, I was in bed because I couldn't walk. So I stayed in bed all day, and he got me food. And when he came home, and he was waiting for me to take the plate from him, and I couldn't take the plate from him. My brain kept saying, "Take the plate, grab the plate, grab the plate," but my hand would not move. It just wouldn't move.
Wow,
So he's like,
that's
"Come
crazy.
on," and I'm like just sitting there, and I'm like, like I can't. And it was the craziest thing. So I'm very sensitive to drugs, and I have very strange allergies on top of it. So that's also a scary thing to pursue.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Well, I hope things get better for you. I do. I really do. Before we sign off, we're doing a giveaway. Can you let the readers know what the
Oh,
giveaway
sure.
is?
So I was inspired when I was sitting in the library observing high school students, and they were acting a little strange. And so I was inspired to write a little short story. So that's what I'm giving away. And I wrote that I think I wrote it before I started writing the rest of the series. And
nice.
And someone said that it was like my best thing yet. And it's a short it's short. It's a short story. It's contemporary. And it is based on a true story.
And it's nothing to do with your series. It's separate. Is it going to be an ebook?
I don't think so. I think I just like want to, if I can give it away, I'll give it away instead of putting it on Amazon. Yeah, because strangely, it takes a lot of energy for me to mail things out. Like when I had a giveaway before, it took me months and months and months to wrap my head around, like, you have to pack this stuff up and you have to mail it. And it was so overwhelming for me. Like I was not well. And finally I had to ask my husband to do it because I could not physically do it.
So they'll get a PDF file?
Yeah.
Is that what they're going to do?
I mean, it's not like fancy formatted or anything like that, but it's a short story. And it's high school. So it's
well, it's kind of cool because it's never been published. So that's really cool. It's never been published. I like that. That's pretty cool. I do. And I'll be doing my regular giveaway, which is a $5 Amazon gift card. All you have to do is go to my author page and share this video wherever you like in your favorite reading groups on your homepage with your friends. But do tag me when you share it. That way I know you shared it. And the more you share, the more you are entered into the giveaway. Maria, this has been a great chat, as always. I do hope you feel better and get some kind of relief with your health issues. Okay. And readers, thank you so much for joining us. And Maria, I know I didn't get to all the questions. Feel free to go to my author page and scroll through the comments and answer any questions we didn't get to.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. I always enjoy talking to you.